on this episode of Two Below. News today like tooth decay, slowly rot your brain away.
Oh,
Check
my.
out that bush.
Wow. It's the wall to wall. It's like shag carpet.
I thought those were panties. I'm not even joking. I had to lean in on that one. Wow.
Underneath the surface, less worthless information lays. Open up your mind.
If you didn't get enough dong in that last one, here you go.
Let yourself unwind.
And poop is interesting, even though it's super weird to talk about. I'll be honest about that. Let's talk about poop and Disneyland.
Two below, we must go. Feel the flow, it goes for days. Listen up or vandalize. Don't need your eyes to hear this. Podcast elevated, educated, real shit. I have a gun in my vagina.
That's probably not pretty common.
So she was uncomfortable. Maybe she thought that the gun was about to go off.
Yeah, maybe she put it in like holster first. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I hope the safety was off. Like quicksand, you'll sink and you'll blink and it's over. Two below, we will go, so keep your damn composure. Two below, we're on our way, delivering Synosia.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, all you beautiful people.
Man, it feels like it's been forever.
It has been. How long is forever? It's just
What, a week?
a week, but it feels like a lifetime.
I know, right?
But we're back now.
Yes. So excited to be back, and especially excited because we're going to start off today's show with something a little new.
Oh, really? What
Yes.
do we have going on?
We are going to introduce our listeners to Miss Smartypants.
So I like the name. What are you implying with Miss Smartypants?
So Miss Smartypants is incredible. She is going to let us know gently the things that we got wrong in our previous episodes.
And we have a lot of stuff wrong. It's just human nature.
Yes, and she's also going to provide us a platform to ask questions to.
It's
She is Miss Smartypants, and so, hey, who better to ask these things that just plague us?
I say we dive right in and see what Miss Smartypants is all about, man.
Let's do it.
You take the facts, you don't get right. Miss Smartypants is there to fight. She'll let you know when you're wrong. In a world full of news, it's easy to fuck up a few, but Miss Smartypants is always there to bring the truth to you. Miss Smartypants, she's in my pants.
Miss
Not really.
Smartypants, welcome.
Welcome, Miss Smartypants. Wow, that was an intro.
Not actually in his pants.
Well, there's always hope.
There is hope. There are redos as well.
Yes.
We
so-
can always rewind.
Yes, absolutely. Well, welcome to the show. Your very first appearance on Two Below.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you
Absolutely.
here.
Yes.
Yes.
So, as I mentioned before, Miss Smartypants is going to provide us a little bit of editorial context. She's going to let us know the facts that we got wrong.
And we get stuff wrong.
Yes.
In the heat of the moment, we're reading these articles and we're getting fired up because we want to let you guys know what's going on, and that causes some problems sometimes.
Miss Smartypants likes to let us know when we get things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure I'm not catching everything, so...
Yeah, I kind of doubt that. She is a hawk.
I think you'll get it all.
Yes. So what prompted you to want to let the world know what these two jackasses got wrong in these funny news stories that we talk about?
It's just an overall compulsion.
Okay, I get that.
It's like you hear us, we're saying something wrong. You got to be there to correct us, I guess.
I yell at all the podcasts that I listen to when they're being dumbasses and getting things wrong, so...
And so I think that's really important for our listeners to understand that Miss Smartypants is a podcast aficionado. So she actually spends a significant amount of time listening to podcasts. Is that true?
That's very true.
How much time do you think on average on any given day?
Too much.
And how much is that?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm actually listening like most of the day, 3 hours, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But then there's a lot of days that I only listen for like 30 minutes, or I do while I color and exercise. And
How many different podcasts do you listen to, just approximately?
not that well rounded. It's because there's only like 7.
Okay. But, if you're going to listen to podcast on a regular basis, like we hope our listeners do, you're committing to that particular podcast. And there's so many hours in the day, right?
Right. And I've tried quite a few that, just weren't for me. So,
like an immediate turn off.
yeah, like, no,
And was it because they got a lot of shit wrong that you were just like...
No,
Here she
most
is.
of it because it was either too girly or too millennial.
Okay. Okay. I
I
like
can
that.
see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Yes, I can relate.
Yeah. There's a lot of that out there.
I wasn't lit enough to listen to it, apparently.
Elevated enough, so they say.
Nice.
Mm.
So what do you say we kind of dive into some of the things that we got wrong in episodes 1 through 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's start with episode 3 and work our way back.
Okay.
That is, so we've already got an agenda. It's good.
Yes.
The gentleman with his love for pigs.
Okay.
I remember
Okay.
that story with the ham
Yes.
beer.
I do. The Ham's beer.
Yes.
I love that story.
That was a good one.
That was actually submitted by a listener.
That was.
That was. So.
Yeah, you said it was June 26th, and the
Okay.
episode came out on June 16th. So it wasn't technically...
So it was in the future.
Oh, so
exactly.
wait. Oh, so you're saying we said the article was in the future.
Yes.
Also, okay.
You guys were time traveling.
Nice.
Well, if the article comes out soon. Oh, I guess it would have came out a few days ago.
What if it comes out again on that day? Like it never happened. Mind blown.
You just blew my mind.
Or it came out a few years ago.
Oh, wait.
And
is
it
that-
what are
wasn't
you trying to say?
actually... It wasn't actually current. That's what
So
I'm
hang
saying.
on. You're saying we got all jazzed up about an article that was...
A few years old. I didn't look up the actual year, but
I feel so ridiculous.
Okay.
Wow.
Note to self.
check your dates.
But it was a good story.
It was.
Who
It was still
remembers
fun,
that from
right?
2 years ago? I don't.
Right.
And now we all do.
It's all about the content, not the win.
And you know
right?
what would be interesting is if we checked the Ham's beer, their sales.
We should.
Like what? There could be an increase there. Thank you.
I can see that.
Yes.
So,
Okay,
wow. So,
okay. All right. Well, listeners, we talked about a story that was in the future that was really 2 years ago. So it's kind of Back to the Future meets Back to the Future 2, all wrapped up in one segment.
our laptops are powered by flux capacitors, and we don't know what sort of stories are
Right.
going to be coming out of there. So,
All right. So what else you got? Let's keep going.
All right. In episode 2, you actually didn't get anything wrong.
Yes. High five.
dude,
Nice.
that's pretty good.
but-
Sweet.
Wow.
Can you say
They
that
hope-
again one more time?
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, because we
lush
probably aren't going to get this
feeling.
very often, so
This
I'm going
may
to
be
enjoy
the-
it while we can.
Yeah.
You were right that episode.
Yes.
That does-
Oh man, I have
Dude,
that on tape.
I
now.
got goosebumps.
Awesome. I do too.
Goosebumps.
I feel a new ringtone coming on.
Don't get too excited though,
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
because the cats that were being shaved, the shaved cats.
Uh-huh. Oh no.
I loved that article.
The whole discussion about what the cats doing it to each other is just stupid. Cats don't have opposable thumbs. Like, there's no
Okay,
way.
so you're talking about,
That's a really good point.
have you thought about if the cats were shaving themselves?
Were they going to
to
have to tape the razor blades to each other's paws and scrape?
Well, I don't even think they could tape themselves because they don't.
They don't
That's
have the
true.
thumbs. We're
right?
back to.
Exactly.
Okay, so all right,
So we should remember about the things we're talking about. Cats
Right.
don't have thumbs.
we shouldn't be misleading our listeners with fake news.
I thought they. Well, now I know they don't. So
right.
incredible.
So I apologize for that misleading statement.
It was entertaining, but
Okay,
But like, I guess technically, a cat's not going to pick up a razor and shave his
Right.
friend.
so next time I would have to phrase it like, I wonder if the cats are doing it to each other with their mouths, like biting, like.
I mean, but you
Like-
don't think a cat could like paw it, like put his little paws together and hold
like stand up on his. Well, I guess he could just lay down on his side and use his front 2 paws to grab the razor.
It
and
could
then
be
do
a
the
Hemingway
shaving.
cat, one of those
A Hemingway
mutations that have like double paws on each.
It could be that,
foot.
but
Nice.
but so many of them, unless it was just the one.
Right.
Although the huge flaw in this argument is that I feel like these cats probably had rather precise shaving done to them, and there's no way that could be done with these methods we just talked about. Like, that's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah. So point taken.
That's a really
I
good
appreciate
point.
the feedback.
We
Keep it coming.
Okay.
I forgot
was
that we talked
all I
about that and about the cats and how they were shaving, and I feel ashamed.
Right.
So keep me ashamed for the rest of our episodes, please. I'm sure there'll be so much more.
All right. Hey, before we go into the next thing that we got wrong, I want to fit in a little Miss Smartypants question. And so this is something that I've heard talked about in the news a couple of times recently. I've seen, random articles. It seems like a silly conversation, but can you still put 2 spaces after a period when you start a next sentence?
Only if you're an idiot.
Why is that? I was born
The
and
style
taught.
guide has changed.
Yeah, I was taught that too.
Really?
2 spaces.
So when the style
Yeah,
guide changes,
in high
how do
school
they
typing.
how do they notify everybody that you need to start doing things differently? Like,
They send out a memo. You didn't get it?
no, I didn't get the memo.
It's like subscribing to the do not call list.
Yes, like when you update software, right? You're in the software industry.
Mhm.
You typically will have a notification, or customers will know when they've got a release or new things that they
That's
should be
right.
aware
Pop
of.
up or email or what have you.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, hey, this button moved over here. No longer click on that. No longer use 2 spaces after a period. So, yeah. So I figured Miss Smartypants would be good to set the record straight on something that has been bothering me.
That's really not a thing anymore.
No. So
I-
1 space.
I recently learned also that they don't teach kids like cursive anymore
Not at
either.
all.
Really?
Yeah. We might know a lost art.
Oh, man.
Think
There'll
about that.
be a
That's kinda
time
cool.
when people won't be able to read the Declaration of Independence.
Well,
They're doing that on purpose.
yeah, that's scary.
Yep. They're trying to hide the truth.
You start it when they're young.
Yes.
Start with cursive.
Yep.
Once that's gone, that's a new language to them.
Crazy. I bet Alex Jones is talking about that.
That and UFOs.
Yes.
It's whatnot.
Oh, speaking of UFOs, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later.
I'm excited.
this
UFOs
episode.
always just get me so excited.
Yeah. Okay. So, but hey, back to task here, Miss Smartypants. What was additional things that we got wrong?
Okay, you were talking about the fat monkey?
Oh,
Yes. Uncle Fatty.
Uncle Fatty. Uncle Fat. Like, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
57-pound.
50,
What kind of monkey was it, Matt?
It's a macaque. Did I say it? I said it wrong again, didn't I?
You did.
Oh, wait,
That's
no.
okay. We'll get it right one of these days. I'm sure we'll have more stories.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
You talked about Jane Goodall.
Yes.
She was with the chimps, and at the time you were discussing gorillas, and that was Diane Fossey.
All right.
I don't actually know any of that.
So Diane Fossey is Gorillas in the Mist.
Yes, it's funny. I watched a old, obviously, Johnny Carson from 86 or something like that last night, and Diane Fossey was on there, and she had just released Gorillas in the Mist, the book. The Sigourney Weaver movie hadn't even come out yet. So
Well, Diane Fossey, I apologize for not giving you credit where credit was due.
I feel like I need to learn more about this.
So have you ever heard of Gorillas in the Mist?
No.
Or so
No.
yeah, it may be a little bit before your time when it was actually pretty widely reported and in the
yeah,
news.
she was
and-
the second American to study silverback gorillas in the wild. Like she like became like part of their tribe or whatever a
Mhm.
gorilla group
Yep.
is called.
Is she the one who she like lived out with a
Yeah.
bunch, like out in some like
Yes.
super remote?
They had a video footage of her like laying beside a gorilla and like pawing on him, and it was a like 400-pound gorilla.
No, thank you.
So yeah, she got way into gorillas.
She has some big
Interesting.
cojones too, because
She-
that's
They like caught some guy that was a what do you call it, poacher.
Okay.
And like she was announcing this, it was their big fight against poaching.
All right. I like
I don't
that.
think that's a word really.
Let's go.
Anyway,
Poachery.
but they caught one guy that gave them 94 names of different poachers, so they were gonna be able to get rid of 95 poachers in Africa or wherever it was that she was hanging out with the gorillas. So that was her big contribution was trying to fight poaching, because they would catch them for their skulls and their paws. They would use their paws as ashtrays.
Okay. Hey, Miss Smartypants, how awesome is
I
this?
never would have known that. That's amazing.
I'm telling you guys, she
Their paws.
knows everything. I swear.
That's I can't wait to learn.
She is Miss Smartypants.
Most stuff. But
Which is things
and
that we
she's
don't
modest
know. So
too.
she is very modest.
All right. I'm sure there's more.
there's one more.
Mm.
There's
one more. Only one more.
Only
All
one
right.
more.
And this involves the found negatives of the naked people.
Yes. Remember we were talking about porn in the old days?
Oh, yes.
Right?
This
I
was
was
some
talking about those
homemade
negatives
porn.
that were found
That's
and with the weird picture, the see no evil, hear no evil,
Mm-hmm.
tricycle.
Now I remember.
All right.
Well, that's what I have for you to look at today.
Okay, so we actually have the photos, and we're about to pull these up. So we'll be able to describe these as they actually were, as opposed to how I probably butchered the original description.
You actually did better than I thought when I looked at the photos.
Oh,
So
all right.
I'm very
Well,
proud of you.
Excellent.
Look at...
So we have 6 photos
Okay,
here.
yeah. We started off talking about we found the negatives, and we didn't find the negatives. It was our friend Cassie,
That's right.
Okay.
and she gave them to
Man.
us. She found them in an old house on Oak Street in Denton.
I have to, I'm sorry, Cassie. I have to apologize to 2 women this episode.
John.
One of them's dead.
Yeah, but still, it's still an apology that was needed.
So hang on, just a little clarification for me here before we crack these things open. These aren't something you just like searched for?
no, these
No.
are the real thing.
These
I
are.
scanned the negatives this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
I
So
am ready.
these are the actual old school negatives that I was trying to describe.
They had been
Mm.
they had been mailed from California. I can't remember the city, San something, to somewhere in Oklahoma, and
Okay.
then they had been somehow transferred to this house in Denton where Cassie found them.
Okay, so this is like very authentic stuff here.
Yeah, this is
So
legit.
there were 3 guys and 3 girls, and they were all naked and running around in a house that looked to be in California by the architecture.
We can fit porn in every segment,
Every segment.
every single one.
Here's a question for you. I mean, if any of our listeners want to take a look at these, can we get links somehow out to them? Or is that like are these personal?
These were
or is
submitted to Found, right?
I did give copies of the photos
Okay.
to Found magazine. Dirty Found is a sub magazine of.
Right.
So
Found is
I
pretty
don't know
cool.
if they were ever actually published because I didn't buy any more of the Dirty Founds.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm not sure, but
Okay.
Okay.
But do you think we could legally put these up?
may have to put black bars over the eyes. I don't know,
Okay. We'll figure it out.
We might be able to do something.
but
We'll
yeah,
let
I
you guys
never
know.
found out
Yeah.
who the people are.
Okay.
No clue.
I mean, if anybody can figure it out, it's all the crazy.
Well,
awesome
when we
people
figure it
there.
out, we'll tweet it and put a link to them. So just follow us on Twitter, and if you're interested in getting that link.
Yeah, you found that you talked about a girl on a tricycle, and I thought there was only a guy on a tricycle. So you were right there.
Sweet.
Nailed
so
it.
the girl.
All right.
I'm ready.
Girl 01. Here we go. All right.
Oh
Check
my!
out that bush.
Wow. That is, it's the wall to wall. It's like
I thought
shag
those were,
carpet.
I thought those were panties. I'm not even joking. I had to lean in on that one. Wow.
Okay. So she's, it's almost like a pompadour haircut. How would you describe that hair?
The hair on her head is what you're talking
Yes,
about.
I'm talking about the actual hair on her head.
Okay. Yeah. It's pulled back, but very sticky uppy on top.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
Victoria's Secret? What is it? Do you think they had that back then?
I don't know. So she's wearing like this black sheer kind of teddy thing, sitting on a tricycle with her legs all Basic Instinct, Sharon Stoned out, with
So-
wall-to-wall carpet.
Oh, wall to wall, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like what people. I mean, this was like porn.
She's riding a little tricycle. It looks like a pretty decent sized room. It's got tile, like really nice looking tile floor.
It's a huge house, but I think maybe it was like 3 couples on vacation, and
Okay. So maybe some swingers.
they
Yeah,
got
look
him
at that
to
farmer's
film
tan
them.
she's got going on.
I think it's shadows,
Oh, is that shadows?
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I was about to
Otherwise,
say, that looks like a crazy farmer tan.
what kind
but
of
I
shirt
could
was
be
she
wrong.
wearing to get
I
that
know.
sort of tan?
I don't know. She does have a pretty dark face too.
yeah.
So do
Not
we?
sure.
We don't know like a year or anything like that, or like a time frame.
Was there any metadata on these? No. I guess this is
The postmark.
postmark.
The postmark was like 56. I'll double check that one.
Okay,
Wow.
so it was mailed in 56.
It's from the 50s, maybe 60s.
So
I
this,
can't remember for sure.
I mean, she could have been mailing something to her boyfriend. You know, hey baby.
but there was 3 couples, so it was strange.
So we got 5 more pictures here. What's
Okay, so yeah. I thought that there was only a guy on a tricycle, but there was a girl on a tricycle, and then the guy is actually on a bike with training wheels.
Okay. Oh, this is a brilliant photo.
I don't know what to.
And I thought he had a
So
cigar
how would you
instead
go
of
ahead
a
and
cigarette.
describe this one for our listeners, Matt?
Well, it's a really nice looking trike. It's got some training wheels I can see. It's also got it's grown naked guy on there, donging out with his hands out, and he's smoking a cigarette. And he's reminding me of an actor, and I can't put my finger on it.
I think it's Chris Penn.
Oh, wow. I know Chris Penn. He does it a little bit.
Michael Rappaport?
Maybe.
So, I mean, do you think they were playing chicken? Maybe like she's on one end, since they're both on these trikes.
That very well could have
He
been.
looks like he's going all in with those hands.
So
out.
he's got his hands raised, like he's reaching out, like getting ready to catch something, or like he's trying to scare somebody or something
He
like
looks.
that.
I mean, if
That
he's
cigarette's hanging like halfway out his mouth.
I think he's casting a spell.
A cast, yes.
It almost looks like he's holding like a glass of wine at first. I thought in his left hand from the shadow.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of weird.
It's almost from the same angle as the last photo. It looks like the same room. In fact, I think this little trike was maybe up against the wall in the background of the other photo.
I can't help but notice too that the seat on the trike is. Do you think it's flat, or do you think there's something popping up? Like that?
Well, it looks like one of his balls is hanging off to the right of the seat, and the other one is like just sitting up straight. But
yeah, one of them's getting jackhammered.
yeah,
What other images?
he has about
do we
half
have?
the bush as the woman in the first photo.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the rest were, you talked about the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Yes.
Click on monkeys.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, the
Oh,
danglers.
sweet. I had that one right, didn't I?
Okay.
If you didn't get enough dong in that last one, here you go.
Yeah, there's lots of dong in this photo.
As soon as it's loaded up, there's 3 guys, and they're popping like sort of the Russian-looking squat.
And speaking of monkeys, the guy on the end, I think, is part monkey by
Man,
as
look at that
hairy as he
hair.
is.
Yes.
The guy on the right there,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
the guy on the left. At first, he looked like a little Burt Reynolds to me with his
He
face.
kind of does. He kind of did.
But I mean, I've never seen the rest of Burt Reynolds. Never want to. So
Interesting.
There's a playgirl where you can if you want.
2 of them have cigarettes.
I do not.
I do not blame you.
All right. What else we got? There's more photos.
Okay, fun.
All right. Let's go to fun. All right. So now we've got 3 guys. I guess the same. One of the guys looks different. Actually, I don't see the
No,
super
it's-
hairy guy. in
It's
this
the
one.
same guy, just
Oh, it is just a different angle.
better lit, so he doesn't look as dark.
So we got one guy on the tricycle.
On a trike.
A guy on a scooter in the middle holding like some kind of mixed drink of some sort.
It looks kind of like the Razor scooters do these days,
like
but
a tiny one, like
oh,
a tiny little
yeah,
razor.
a tiny one.
Yeah, it's definitely made for a child.
Yeah, like his entire foot takes up the entire base of it.
That guy just looks really tall now that I start looking at him. He looks really lanky. Where does his waist start? His legs?
The guy on the tricycle's killing me, man, because the tricycle's he's so big that like literally his belly is almost hanging over the bars on the tricycle.
The one common theme between all these pictures though is everybody looks like they're having so much fun.
They do. These are some pretty uninhibited folks having a great time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love seeing these. This was really something. I can't believe somebody.
Fun too.
Oh wow.
There
I
we
wonder
go.
what he's after.
What do you think? So this is the first photo with both a man and a woman in the same picture.
And somebody has some clothes on.
Yes, but they're pulled. She's wearing this skirt that's pulled up, totally showing her pubic region, but her legs are closed, so it's definitely more tasteful. That seems like a more of a classic Playboy kind of racy pose.
Yeah, they're all playing out like a scene that we just don't know what it is in all these
Right,
photos.
maybe so.
I think that they were couples because there were images of a man and a woman together. I can't remember how clothed they were though, but
So what
I
kind
think
of
it were-
for the cameras that they would have used back then? They would have had very slow shots, like would they have had to have posed in these photos for a while, or
they're definitely using a flash. There was also a bunch of negatives with this that were projected. They were like photos that somebody had taken of themselves, and then that was projected onto something, and then photos were taken of that. So it was like looking at porn on the library computer and taking a picture of it with your phone back in the
Right.
old days.
so that's how they did it. God.
But I couldn't find those, so I'll give you guys something to look at next time.
Interesting.
And then this is my favorite, the pièce de résistance.
Oh wow!
All right.
Look at that! How dirty her foot is.
That's it.
That's the-
Wow, this is amazing. Okay,
So-
I don't even know what to say about this.
You're welcome.
It looks like one of the same. It's the bike they've been using with the training wheels. One dude's sitting up on the front. So one guy's sitting up on the handlebars, another guy's sitting up back on the seat, and then there's a girl on what looks to be some sort of futon couch with just a sheet draped over her, with her nasty looking foot kicking up right to this guy's groin area.
Yeah, the thing that always killed me about this photo was the dirty foot on the guy's penis. Like,
just stands
really?
out.
Yeah, so yeah, she's just like totally reaching out with her right foot.
I just noticed it's touching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's like lifting up his
Flicking
His wang wang.
his dick with her big toe.
Yes,
It's like starting a fire, but
that's right.
different.
And look how happy she looks about doing it.
She's looks like she's laughing her ass off.
And you know what? That guy doesn't. He looks like he's questioning what's happening right now. He's like,
I think he's.
And if
liking
you
it.
look closely, I think you can see the person taking the picture in the mirror.
oh,
you
in
can
the
see somebody
background.
kind of
on the
bending
back
over
left there.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is cool. See, these are the things I'd love to get more context on. Just
Yeah. So we have to post these pictures somehow. So
It'd be
even
great.
if we have to like pixelate the faces and you can Photoshop any tattoos out, any identifying marks. But yeah, we have to get these out for.
yeah, that'd be
everybody to
fun.
see.
And then we could list what order we talked about them, and
Yes.
you guys could follow along if you so desire.
Thank you so much, Miss Smartypants.
Oh, you're welcome. And I was thinking, since you guys are fairly smart most of the time,
Okay. I'll
Okay.
take it. I take what I can get.
that we should throw in a book recommendation.
Oh, I'm
I
down with that.
I am down with that.
Yes.
Funny enough, you guys were talking about the one I was thinking for today,
Oh, what was that?
Ready Player One.
Yes,
Ready
my favorite
Player
book.
One. I'm only halfway through it.
Yes, but you're halfway through.
I am
So
halfway through, and I've been for a few years.
You're at the
and it's-
top of the mountain. You're about to get on the sled, going down, and it's just going to be a ride.
So, just for all you listeners out there, this is what I've heard about Ready Player One. If you are like me, and you get about halfway through the story, and you're questioning what in the world is just happening right now, I don't know if I really like this anymore. Everything leading up to it's amazing, and for me personally, I got to this one part, and I was like, and that's where I put the book down. And then I came and told John and Miss Smartypants over here, and they said, you just put it down before like the apocalyptic insanity is about to go down. So.
Yes,
So, yeah.
it's a really amazing book, and anybody that has an appreciation and semi knowledge of pop culture from the 70s, 80s, 90s, probably
It's
70s and 80s.
It's 80s. Video games, TV, movies,
Yes,
music, especially Rush, which I do not like, but I've still read this book 3 times.
Well, you don't
because
have to listen to
Yes,
Rush.
exactly. You can't hear it. They just talk about it. So
Are you
it's
sure you can't hear it
tolerable.
up
There is
here?
a segment of the book where they're just they're playing a particular Rush song though, and even though you're not listening to it, I bet you heard it in your head, didn't you?
Ugh, don't even start.
You're hearing it right now, I bet.
I can hear
I'm looking so forward to the Steven Spielberg movie, but not the soundtrack.
Oh yes,
They're going to
forgot.
use Rush, aren't they?
I hope they have
Yes.
to change it because they can't afford Rush for some reason.
For like licensing or something, and maybe they can't get it. I don't know.
Yes,
In
amazing.
in my dream alternate universe, there will be no Rush in the Ready Player One movie. But
Amazing book. And we talk a lot about virtual reality type stories and technology on here, and that's a big that's what most of this book takes place in. Virtual
Yeah,
reality.
you could
Yeah.
find that book in Wordness to the Nerdness for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Great recommendation.
Yeah, really good one. That just makes me think I'm going to go and finish that book.
Oh yeah, you have to. So
I will.
maybe in a future episode we'll get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, you can grill me on it, and that way I'll be held accountable to some degree. So,
Yes, excellent.
yes, thank you for that recommendation. I like that.
I'd like a book report next time.
Okay, you got that?
A couple,
You
maybe
have
like a 1 or
homework?
2 line summary of what I thought about the latter
One or
half
two
of the book.
lines. I was thinking like a short essay.
Oh my. Okay, well, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can. We might be able to make something work here.
We'll block out like an hour and a half. We'll do a special episode, and you can just.
I'll just read the
Yeah.
book. I mean,
Hey, you know what?
they're like Will Wheaton. He
We'd be
read
doing
it.
people a service.
I'm sure we wouldn't get in trouble for that.
No, heck no. Why not?
We can just replace certain words with other words, so we'll be good.
And I'm sure the author wouldn't mind. But speaking of the author, it's Ernest Cline.
Okay,
Ernest Cline.
Cline. He also wrote the screenplay for Fanboys. I don't know if you ever saw that movie,
Great
but
movie.
it
I
fits
never saw it.
in this podcast as well. It's all about these fans that trek across the country to see the. So it's set before episode 1 comes out, and they find out about it, and one of their friends has cancer, so they go cross country to Skywalker Ranch, so that the friend can see this movie before he dies because he's terminal.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
So yeah, Ernest Cline apparently loves Rush because the guy that drives them cross country only listens to Rush in his van. It's a rule. He has a tape case full of just Rush.
How long could you listen to Rush before you ran out of Rush and had to start that over?
I don't know. Their songs are like 20 minutes long, so you could probably.
It's probably
They've
that's a
got a
good point.
lot of stuff out there too. A lot of live
Do
stuff.
they?
You could probably easily not hear the same thing twice.
Anyway, check out that movie if you haven't seen it too,
Fanboys.
Fanboys, because it's really good. It's got Jay Baruchel and who's that chick that's married to Dax Shepard now?
Oh, you got me. You know I'm horrible at that game.
The Frozen chick.
Oh, the Frozen chick. That didn't. Nope.
Yeah, blonde, real cute.
I'm
think
on
of
Miss
her name.
Smarty Pants.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to come back and fix this episode.
Yes.
exactly.
Oh,
I
well.
totally lost her name.
That's okay.
They do the washer and dryer commercials together, and they're so cute. You just want to shoot them.
You obviously know who this is. The word's not.
Yeah, the
coming.
name is not
Yeah.
coming up. Yeah,
Kristen Bell.
There you go. Okay.
Kristen. Oh, okay.
See, Miss
There
Smarty
you
Pants
go.
just redeemed herself.
It just takes me a while sometimes.
It's up there
Yeah.
somewhere. It's like
Yeah.
I just all about getting
There's
it.
so much information there that it can take a while if you haven't indexed
It gets
that,
all crammed up.
recently. Yeah. So you got a little fragmentation. It takes a while to query your brain to return that data.
Yeah,
Nerd.
that's what it is. Sure.
Well, thank you again for joining us. And so we are going to be having Miss Smarty Pants episodes whenever we have enough, I guess, mistakes that warrant a segment. So maybe not every episode, but
But you'll see it
we'll
again.
be back frequently. And
Or if your listeners have questions that I can help with.
That's
okay,
right.
there
She'll
you
be
go.
back if
So
you guys
yep,
have
you
questions.
can email the show. You can send questions to us on Twitter, and Miss Smarty Pants can help get those things answered.
I love the sound of that. Actually, that
I'll do what I can.
Awesome. Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, why don't you say? Well, wait a minute. That didn't come out right. So why don't we cruise into a little bit of news?
I think that's a great idea. Let's get down to it.
Fantastic.
So why don't we go ahead and jump into one of the first weird articles we've got for today.
Okay.
Now this one is sort of something I've always thought about doing, but something that I will never actually do, and that is call the police when my chicken tenders have not cooked quick enough at the drive-thru.
Wait a minute.
It's
Say- I'm confused.
it's hard to process.
Okay. Yes. Let me see if I can
Yeah, take it
capture
slow.
this.
Chicken tenders
Chicken tenders.
not cooked fast enough.
Okay, so hey, chicken's always slow, right?
Chicken
You
takes
order
a
the
while.
chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a woman in Waco, Texas.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear.
Mhm. And
Waco,
now-
Texas.
I mean, I've lived in Waco before.
Okay, so you know.
So like I've been semi in this situation, but I've never actually followed through with it. This lady apparently was just frustrated. She's in the drive-thru. Her chicken nuggets are just taking too long.
Okay.
So here's what happens. She thinks she deserves free chicken nuggets. They should be compensated to her for free.
Did it say how long she was waiting?
I am looking. I don't know if it does.
Okay,
It-
but obviously
It's
was
a
while.
It's a while. I know. A while could be 4 minutes.
It could be.
Or
Okay.
5. I doubt it's a really long time.
Okay.
But
So
so here's what happened.
who hasn't been frustrated sitting in a drive-through because your order's taking too long?
Oh yeah, when you're 5 cars back.
Right.
And now, if you're the only one in the drive-through,
Right.
then you might be, really pissed off.
So, but instead of just maybe honking her horn or asking somebody what's taking so long, she actually called 911.
Yeah. So she wouldn't move her car, right? They asked her to move her car.
Okay.
And get out of the drive-through because it's going to take a little bit.
I've been in that situation, and that frustrates the heck out of me.
Me too, because then I'm like, great, now they're probably going to forget about me and they're just going
Right.
to keep serving people.
Right.
And that has happened before.
Right. I feel like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, why wouldn't I have just parked and gone inside in the first place?
Exactly. Especially when that sometimes ends up happening
Right.
anyways.
I wanted to go to the drive-through so I could literally drive through, not park
Yeah.
and wait.
Not drive through, park,
Right.
go in. Now I'm angry. So she wouldn't move. The fast food joint, I don't know if they say what fast food joint this is.
Yeah. I don't think it did.
I don't see anything. They look like Wendy's, or they honestly look like Wendy's chicken tenders in the photo in the article. Here's what happened. The employees called 911 because this lady wouldn't move.
Okay.
The lady, from what the police were saying, called the lady in the drive-thru waiting for her chicken tender. She called 911, same time as the employees.
So they both called at the same time.
So they both called at the same time, and the police did respond. And the lady's reason for the call was, my chicken tenders are taking too long, and I feel like I should be compensated for them.
That's classic.
And that is, we've all thought about probably getting a little upset, maybe, at the drive-thru and how long things are taking. But this lady took the cake. That's really it. This was out of Waco, Texas.
Well, that's really interesting because we have another story later in this episode that takes place in Waco, Texas.
It's just, what a popular place for such a non-popular place.
It is. So we'll talk a little bit more about Waco in a bit. So why don't we go ahead and talk about something a little bit different?
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. So when I say different, does Taco Bell come to mind?
It does.
It does,
not.
really?
It does not.
Okay, it does not.
No.
Okay, you fooled me there. I see what you did.
It so not comes to mind from something different.
What about getting married?
I mean, that's different, but not different enough.
Okay, so yeah, neither one of those, I guess, is really that different. Well,
No.
what if I said getting married at Taco Bell?
Oh, you've got me.
And I'm not talking about just some crazy couple that decided to go get married at the Taco Bell where they first met or something.
It's not like,
that.
okay.
Yeah, it's not one of those, sentimental, hey, look what these guys did that
Yeah.
you see, on your Facebook feed or something. No, this is actually Taco Bell created this experience at their flagship store in, I think it was Las Vegas.
Out in Las Vegas.
And yeah, Las
Okay.
Vegas. And so at this location, they are now serving weddings.
At Taco Bell.
You can go to Taco Bell and order a wedding and have everything there at Taco Bell.
Okay.
Taco Bell wedding.
Taco Bell wedding. What sort of things do you eat there?
So they actually have a menu. So this is a really interesting article. It gives you really good details, and they do have some pictures. So the link will be in show notes, like always. So if you're interested in the Taco Bell photos, you can find them there. But you get some pretty amazing things. You get this massive spread of, I think it's like a 12-pack of tacos and some taco branded champagne flutes.
I'm noticing that, like, for instance, the guacamole is on a silver platter.
Yes.
That's a nice touch.
But it's still the same, like, neon, radioactive looking green Taco Bell guacamole. It's just sitting on this super fancy plate.
Everything. I'm looking at these photos that you're talking about right now, and these everything looks pristine. Like, these, when you look at food for fast food places, and they show you like the image of, what their new menu item is or whatever, it looks amazing and perfect. These all look rather amazing and perfect.
They really do. When you see a commercial for really any kind of food, you know how it always looks perfect. Doesn't matter like what the restaurant or fast food place is. They show these like perfect looking juicy burgers, and then you go get one and it's all smushed and looks like shit.
Yeah.
So this is actually looks like what you see in the advertising.
Which is really impressive because, I mean, from things I've read, they actually hire people who specialize in making the food in those photos as perfect as possible.
Yes. And so aside from the food, there is a bouquet made out of hot sauce packets.
Okay.
Taco Bell hot sauce packets. I mean, when you think of Taco Bell, you always think of the hot sauce.
The hot sauce, it's
right?
one of their classics.
Right. I mean, you're not leaving Taco Bell with like 50 of those things in your bag usually.
No.
You ask for hot sauce and they grab a handful and throw like 40 of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, really, really crazy. I think it's $600, and they just had the very first one, June 25th. So just a couple of days ago.
Okay. So $600. What does that get you? Like how many people can you bring?
So I think it's up to 15 guests. You get a private reception area. They give you some Taco Bell merchandise for the bride and groom. And actually the most amazing thing that they don't have a photo of, the thing that I'm most interested in, is the Cinnabon Delights cake.
I was just reading that that's a thing in this article, and oh my gosh.
Does that not sound amazing?
It does.
I want to go just find a place to buy a Cinnabon cake now.
Man, I wonder if that's, like, can you get those? I know you can get the Cinnabons, can't you?
I'm going to find out.
Oh, man. A whole cake. Like,
I know.
that's... Here's one thing I'm reading, though. This seems strange to me. I'm reading, it's the $600 that you're talking about for the up to 15 guests, but then they say you just get a taco 12-pack? Is that all they give you?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. So maybe they just feed the bridal party.
Oh, maybe
the
so.
bride and groom.
Dude, 12 tacos. That's me right there.
Right.
I could do that.
But they probably have like a counter where all the other guests can go order their Taco Bell.
Oh, hopefully.
Yes.
Otherwise, what in the world?
It is their flagship store.
And these photos, everything looks nice. The furniture looks nice. This has got to be a pretty exquisite looking store for their flagship.
Yeah, they even have a Taco Bell waiter with his bow tie on.
What a lovely looking bow tie.
Yeah, it's like the same colors as the hot sauce and the medium and hot packets.
I just don't know if the bow tie makes it better or worse.
Yeah?
I am not quite sold on it.
Okay.
It is, I don't know, man.
I like the bow tie.
It's snazzy looking. I like it, but
Some people can pull off the bow tie, some people can't.
yeah, I've never tried to wear it on my life. Have you?
I can't think of
I've
a
never,
time.
I don't think.
Maybe once when I was a kid, but I
Yeah.
don't really remember.
Yeah, if I did, I don't remember either. Certainly not as an adult.
Right. So, yeah, Taco Bell weddings, I thought that this was kind of interesting.
So now, if you go to Las Vegas and, you have way too much to drink, instead of going to one of those junky, like $15, let's get married right now places, maybe you have a little bit more money in your pocket and you might splurge for the $600,
Yeah.
marriage up at Taco Bell flagship in Las Vegas.
I mean, all you got to do is hit one slot and, bam, there's your
Boom.
Taco Bell,
Yeah.
wedding money.
You think they let you go there, and even if you're not getting married, like, dude, we just want to have a $600 shindig right now.
That's maybe where the up to 15 guests comes from. It's like random people that are there just buying Taco Bell.
You're like,
They're
everybody,
like, hey, you want to sit in on the wedding?
wedding over here.
The reception room fits people or 15 people.
That sounds kind of fun. I like that they do something like this. This is different.
Yeah, so pretty interesting.
Mhm.
So, one of the things that when I think about Taco Bell is poop.
Oh, the fire sauce shits?
Or
Is that where you were going with that? Or like,
it depends on what kind of sauce you're using, but it is typically followed by some sort of the shits.
it is.
You
Every good Taco Bell meal is.
yeah,
like
most
that's,
good fast food places,
Most of them.
are pretty good about
But-
keeping up with that mantra.
But it's just been for me, and it sounds like for most people, or a lot of people, Taco Bell just, it gets you a little something special in your body going.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, my bathroom procedures are not the same after a Taco Bell meal as they are with other meals, I'll say.
So we have another story here about poop, right?
We do.
So, maybe we should kind of switch gears.
Talk about a little...
And so let's take this poop theory and explore it with another story.
I like the way you think, John.
Thank you.
I do. And poop is interesting, even though it's super weird to talk about. I'll be honest about that. Let's talk about poop and Disneyland.
Okay. Yes. Because
So-
when I think Disneyland, I think poop.
I know, it is the Magic Kingdom, and, I think about poop when I think about the Magic Kingdom. So, I mean, look, this is just a real short one. This happened earlier in the month, around June 10th, just out in Disneyland, in California, Anaheim, California.
The happiest place on earth.
The happiest place on earth to get crapped on. It is.
Okay, now you've caught my interest.
So, look, here's what happened. There were, flocks of geese. That's the thing. And apparently over in Disneyland in California, I guess one of these flocks of geese, a bunch of them just had a little bit of a shit show going on, and they crapped on a bunch of the guests. And what's unfortunate about it is this is just natural for these geese, and the police were brought in to deal with this. It's from the way the article sounds, the people didn't actually know where this crap came from.
Okay.
But in my mind, it's got to look like bird crap, which is like glowing white sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I'd be like, okay, yeah, someone didn't just fling like the world's most mysterious albino shit at me from across the street.
Sometimes it has like fresh berries in it, so it looks like there's blood.
Yeah, and then you really are like,
You're like, what the hell?
What just happened here? So this was it must have just been a little conglomerate of geese who maybe had just been feasting all at the right time, flew over Disneyland.
Maybe they had some Taco Bell.
Maybe they had some Taco Bell. I know, get one of those Angeladitos or whatever it is they have. The Gorditas.
Yes.
Not an Angeladito. Unfortunately, 17 people got crapped on. Police were brought in. Fire department was brought in. And it says here 11 adults and 6 kids were hit, but none were hurt.
Well,
thank God.
Thank
goodness. My goodness. It's just all part of the Disneyland experience. Here's what I'm wondering about, though. In this article, it says these people enjoyed the Disneyland just fine.
Disneyland.
Is it the Disneyland or is it Disneyland?
I've always just Disneyland. It's not the Disneyland.
I didn't think so, but it just seems so weird. I thought, have I been wrong my whole life? It's the Disneyland, but I don't think it is. It's Disneyland.
It's just Disneyland.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse wouldn't have cared about that kind of stuff, so why should we?
Now, it does say that this was dramatic enough to bring police and firefighters, so there was a commotion after this.
I mean, we are talking kids.
Okay.
And 6 kids were targeted by these geese.
So do you think that they were just like looking around thinking that they were being pranked? That somebody was throwing bird shit on them?
You think, maybe like one kid dropped and he starts crying and then boom, boom, another couple kids drops and it's like a war zone out there. I mean, I don't know what could have happened, but...
That's interesting. So if there's that many geese, so it says a flock of geese and multiple people were hit, 11 adults and 6 kids, 17 people?
17 people.
So that means all of these geese had to shit at the same time. It was like a mass shitting.
Because otherwise it just would have been too spread out.
Right.
And nothing would have came of this.
So does that just seem weird that they all just happened to shit at the same time?
You think the geese are real? Is that where you're
going?
I think
they were, what I'm saying is they were planning this.
It was a preempt.
They actually knew what they were doing.
That's dangerous.
They were coordinated in this event.
That's actually dangerous territory.
Yes.
And it's good that geese can't connect to the internet because geese all over the world could actually start coordinating.
Oh, they may already be doing it.
We just have no idea.
One of the original methods of communication was pigeons. So
that's true.
They can fly all around the world too.
Just carrier
They don't
pigeons.
need the internet.
Those are incredible how they work. They don't need internet. And if the internet ever goes out, that's what I'm using.
Yep.
It's carrier pigeons. So,
absolutely.
Just watch out when you're in Disneyland.
Yeah. So that's not a fun story if you're going to Disneyland, but it's a fun story to talk about on a podcast.
And I just like to think the adults probably thought it was hilarious and how traumatizing it maybe was for the kids. I don't know.
Well, we have one more story to talk about today, so let's roll into it. And I mentioned Waco earlier, so I was not lying. So we're going to end today. We began our news stories with Waco. We're going to end it with Waco. So in Waco, Texas, a woman was on her way to jail in the back of a police car.
Okay.
And she says, "Will you please pull over? I have a gun in my vagina."
That's probably not pretty common.
So she was uncomfortable. Maybe she thought that the gun was about to go off.
Yeah, maybe she put it in like holster first. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I hope the safety was off. Literally, she was. The cop pulled over, and sure enough, there was literally a small 22 caliber, like probably Derringer style pistol shoved up her hoo-hoo.
That's still a pretty good sized pistol.
That's a decent size.
Pistols still keep that classic L shape, don't they?
I think the small Derringers can be more like a hockey stick kind of shape.
Okay.
Like with a tiny little handle.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that in my mind, that feels a little bit better, even though it doesn't.
It's a little easier to handle.
So how did the police deal with this? I mean,
so yeah, they confirmed it had happened, and she was trying to, I think, sue them for, distress or something like that. But well, this really happened, so it's actually in the police report.
gotta sue them now.
And who doesn't like a good gun in the vagina story?
I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people out there who do it, and now we finally got to read about one.
Right.
Which
So it was loaded.
it was loaded.
Right.
That to me is insanity.
Yes.
Up in your vagina,
Yes.
a loaded gun.
Loaded gun.
You think she had the capability to shoot it at whim?
She's like, she feels the urge to pee, and she's like, oh, I she squeezes a little bit.
Hearing this,
Bam, 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 bam.
just bullets firing off. And,
Now talk about Darwin, potential Darwin Award.
That could be a great story.
That,
So much
that
potential.
would be an instant winner. Well,
So-
I don't even have the contest. If a woman were to kill herself by shooting herself,
Instant winner, number one.
through with a gun that she has shoved into her vagina. Yeah.
And,
So-
it could happen. I
Right.
mean, she's already 99% of the way there with that loaded bad boy up in there.
Yes. And what better way to end an episode than talking about vaginas?
There is no better way.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is a great one.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed. We had a Miss Smartypants on, so hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of her. That was an amazing segment.
Absolutely.
Very fun. Well, we'll have another episode coming here real soon.
Mm-hmm.
So until then, go back and listen to our other episodes.
That's right. And of course, anything we've talked about in this episode, look for it with the show notes.
Yep, absolutely.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All right, and we're out.
News today like tooth decay, slowly rot your brain away. Underneath the surface, less worthless information lays. Open up your mind, let yourself unwind. Two below we must go, feel the flow, it goes for days. Listen up or vandalize, don't need your eyes to hear this. Podcast elevated, educated, real shit. Like quicksand you'll sink and you'll blink and it's over. Two below we will go, so keep your damn composure. Two below we're on our way, delivering Synosia.